IVM.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy New Year. It's your favorite podcast, Agla Station Adulthood, on episode 98. Because bas hum to wow hai, bhai.
98.
90, great.
That was such a cheap shot.
Oh, I love it.
What?
It's a good one.
Oh,
Yes, our
we have
guest has spoken. I just love it. Because now what is there to keep up any more facades? Should we just...
You know, the thing is, we do this every time and we pretend as if the title of our episode doesn't have the guest in it already. We pretend like, it's a
Correct.
big reveal, but it's
It's
not.
not.
You
Was I
can
not
see
supposed to
it.
speak? Are? Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Priyam. Hi.
Hi. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm
Tash.
so happy to have you here. Folks, everyone listening to our lovely podcast, you are no stranger to Priyam Saha, I'm guessing, because if you have found me on the internet, Priyam and I exist in similar worlds and we are all here doing the same kind of living our best lives wali attitude leke ghoom rahe hum sab.
That's right.
So I'm so happy to have you here. Priyam also hosts I Have Feelings, which is a very, very, very good podcast, which I had the honor of being on.
Wow,
I was
it's
upset
a big
about
honor
it.
for me also. I usually
And
stop
now-
talking.
I will happily be quiet this whole episode because I talk too much. You guys can take
I'm
it from here.
kidding. It's your
You can
podcast. Stop
take it from here.
Stop it.
I'm happy to have some content to just watch and be part of because I'm sick of everything. I'm isolating right now. So
Oh, yeah.
Actually, hi, sorry. Welcome to our show. I have to say, the first time I heard of you, I was upset because Rytasha was a guest on your show back when we were just starting out our show. And I was like, how dare you do someone else's podcast?
I completely relate to that. Yeah, because I think in every friend group, you need one normal, healthy person who doesn't have an obsessive relationship with their friends and lets them be. And I'm glad that we are those people in our friend groups, Ayushi. I relate to that 100%.
Yes.
How
That you all
dare
are both normal and healthy
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
and not over
okay.
possessive.
Hey, but the other thing is we as the possessive, unhinged people, we get a bad reputation. But you wait, don't message your friends for 2 days. And you watch how they come crawling back, like Rytasha, but I don't message her for like a day and a half, which is a long time. She'll be like, Bunny, where are you? You're not replying to me. And if I come online and I haven't replied in 30 seconds, you cannot reply to me. I'm
Why are you ignoring
now
me?
you
Yeah.
know how it feels.
I like that.
Are you that friend also, Priyam? Do you
I'm
obsessively
100%.
bother your friends or do they bother
100%.
you?
I mean, to the point where I cannot even imagine I can never do I didn't text you for 2 days because I'm always texting and they're texting. I feel like it's come to that point where now this bad behavior is enabled. Now they know that it will be such a nonsensical conversation if I'm not messaged at every given time and I don't know everything from what you ate to what you're watching to what you're thinking. Then now everybody just kind of does it. So it's all about training, essentially. You just have to train your friends well.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
about,
Agree.
everything is
I
about
agree.
training. We don't look at relationships enough
Everyone
like how we
is
look at
nothing
pets.
but a dog.
Yes.
It's
yes.
true. It's true.
But somebody told me recently, they were like, husbands are like pets only. You have to house train them. It's like,
For sure.
Not just husbands. I
first I
feel
need
like,
to get a
any boys.
Yeah, I was just going to say. # all
most.
men.
But I guess what you're saying is also true. Like anyone needs to be trained. It's just, it kind of goes to everything, right? Practice makes you perfect or closer to perfect. And like you keep being told, like you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way, you need to do this way. Finally, it'll sink in. But I just don't think that this is very easy for us to say. Because if you ask my parents, who I live with, they are my cohabitator. So there's only point of reference. They'll be like, yeah, but you still don't learn. We've been training you for 29 years and you're still pretty fucking broken. So you can try.
Fair. Yeah, you should try. You should always try.
On that note of being broken 29-year-olds.
I gave you that segue, I was giving it to you. I was like, you can pick living with parents, you can pick 29, you can pick broken. Yeah, I give you 3.
So,
But I'm officially 30 years old now. I'm 30.
congratulations.
I love that.
I made
How
it.
do you
30,
feel?
flirty and thriving. No,
30, flirty and thriving. Yeah.
I feel good, yeah. And I feel like when I spoke to you earlier this year, last year,
Last
earlier
year था, अब तो
2020,
हो
yeah,
गया.
खत्म हो गया. तो उसमें I feel like I was still feeling some. I don't know what I was feeling, but it felt like, being 30 should mean something, or maybe it doesn't mean enough, or something like on those lines. But I've always been a big fan of growing up. Big fan. Like I was one of those kids जिसको बचपन से ही बड़ा होना था. And then I think like 20s were a ride, and then suddenly I turned 30 and it was great, and now I am 30 and fairly happy, kind of sort of killing it. I'd like to believe. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I love it.
That's love that for you.
That's a right way. Just today, and I'm not making that. Today in the shower, I was thinking, it's 2022. Like this is the year we were pushing it off because 30 is coming now. So I was like, but now we're in 2022. So 30 is happening. And I swear today in the shower, I was thinking, I was like, but honestly though, it is a privilege to be able to age with joy. And then I caught myself thinking that I was like, Ayushi, this is growth.
It's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. So I accept it. I am looking forward to 30. I think I am a person who's going to come into my own in my 30s. I've decided that this is the decade to flourish.
No, I love that for you. Also, I think the pandemic, I mean, already this was a fact, but the pandemic has taught us that time is a construct. And as you grow older, you also realize that your 30 can look different than somebody else's and somebody else's. And, you meet like 40-year-olds who are not doing enough with their life, whatever that means. And you meet 20-year-olds who are so driven and, they already know what they want and they already have plans for it. So I don't think like this kind of like over 30 is supposed to be any sort of way. Like any other age, I don't think it matters at all. We're all kind of doing our own thing, trying our best. What else? So we are
बड़ी smart हो, बड़ी सुलझी हुई हो. पहले से थी या अभी knowledge आया?
I was about to say, but you can't have always been this self-secure. Or
the thing is, I was actually this year I spent some time. I'm from Delhi. I moved to Bombay like 10 years ago, and this year I spent some time with my mother in Delhi. And this was the first time like since I
in so long.
Like I moved out of my house when I was 20, and I would just go to Delhi for like Diwali, Holi, perhaps. So this was really nice kind of spend. And my mom's the coolest person in the world. And then I remember this one time we were talking a lot. It's like bachpan ki kahaniyan suna rahe the, anecdotes and this that. And I kept asking. I was like, no, but what was my personality when I was growing up? Like, what do you think I'd become? Like, there was a lot of that. And she's giving me some vague ass like answers. And I'm like, but bata kyun nahi rahe ho? And then she's thought for a second. And then she said, you know what, Priyam, tum TV dekhti rehti thi. Kisi ko pareshan karti bhi nahi thi, hoti bhi nahi thi. And I was like, wow. Like, I want to be that. Ki TV dekhte raho, kisi ko pareshan karo bhi mat aur ho bhi mat. And I felt very happy that clearly I was around that personality type fairly young. I felt very happy about that.
I've also been the same personality since I was young, actually. Anytime I ask my mom about childhood stories, because I'm so desperate to know more about your own self. Like, you're like,
obsessed.
Tell me what my origin story is, right? Like, is this going to be villain or superhero? Like, tell me what was happening. And she's like, you've always been such a dramatic child. So you were always like, people called you a drama queen. You've been a drama queen. But she's saying you were always so able to entertain yourself because you used to make up stories and your own parallel universes and just make up these, you were okay to be left alone on the floor and you could play with yourself and entertain yourself. And Tash, doesn't that line up with the things that you tell me now? Is that like I have my delusions? My massive delusions where I create these parallel universes for myself, where I'm like, the multiverse exists for me, not because of Facebook and metaverse, but because I want to live 9 different lives. So I'm like, there has to be more options for us.
But I love that. And that's, like you're saying, like, I'm pretty sure like all of us were kind of growing up to be these people. Yes. And it's great that we are en route.
Yeah. I think Tash was the same. Tash has always been a theatrical. Remember that day I told you somebody said, you're in theatre, no? I was like, no, I'm just theatrical.
Theatrical, yes.
Literally someone who had never met me. They're like, so you work in theatre? Like, no, it's extra.
It's just me.
Yeah, I guess we've all always been these extra girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I read a post, of course, sorry, because I'm only reading posts nowadays, books little less.
Of
But a
course.
post said now that when we see girls who are like screaming or shouting or dancing extra, and then we feel some
I saw
kind of
you shared it today,
discomfort. Yeah. And then that discomfort it's because the discomfort is ours. I know that Ayush and I have spoken about this, and we also did have a lot of this toxic female friendships growing up, and this kind of pulling other girls down, that kind of energy back in school. And it kind of carried into our early 20s also. And it's taken a good amount of relearning, unlearning to kind of look at women as amazing goddesses. What has it been like for you? Did you also have this toxic culture in school? And has the relationship with like female friendship and girlhood and womanhood changed recently?
I think yes and no. Because I feel like the toxic culture you're speaking of, like it was a societal culture, right? Like even now, like women are pitted against each other.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
King Katrina's gotten married. The first thing is who was better bride, Katrina or Anushka? Like it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
No,
And
my problem with that was
that Vicky's
that
taken
was entirely different.
I feel you.
And I felt so bad. I felt so bad. This was the first celebrity wedding I give a shit about. Like I don't care about anyone in Bollywood or on Instagram or any of this stuff because I'm like, I don't know who you are. But this wedding, it hurt me.
Oh man.
It hurt me.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure
because
lots of
in
listeners
my
are
eyes,
relating also.
Anyway,
of course
we've
Are
digressed.
you crazy?
They're listening.
Anyway.
It's a societal thing, this pitting women against each other.
Yeah, so I feel like, and I was in a girls' school, right? And I was also in a girls' college.
Interesting.
So I've had super like close female friendships that still like exist, some of them. And under that umbrella only, there was that kind of toxicity where, yes, like slut shaming was a big thing. And, like I used to get around a lot in school. So I was obviously, at the receiving end of it. And to the extent, like, there's this chick on Instagram. I will not say her name because it's terrible. And like you said, like that shame and stuff is yours. Like it's your mental problem. She dates a lot of boys and she talks about it a lot in great detail. And I have, even with all my liberal, progressive, solid female friendships, every now and then I'm just like, bas ho gaya. Like I get irritated when I am not judging her for her sexual choices, but I'm just like, just shut the f up. Like you don't have to talk about it. But then I'm like, no, but that's my problem entirely.
Yeah.
It is her life, her profile, her followers, her dating, sex life, whatever she can. It doesn't have to appeal to me. So I think like you're saying, I think that kind of toxicity where yes, कि अच्छा उसने क्या पहना है और वो क्या कर रही है उसका boyfriend, and that kind of एक chatter तो था ही, which I think for me, the whole Delhi Bombay shift was also like a lot. I think I moved out of my home very early and I was like a super reckless teenager. Like I think like I wouldn't be half the person I am if I had not moved out. And like when I moved here, maybe so much energy was going in kind of just figuring this city. My God, like living in Bombay when you're not from here, actually even when you're from here, is a super diverse, exciting, expensive adventure. So I think in all of that, the people I met, I think more and more in my 20s, my friendships sort of started being weirdly genderless almost, or maybe I was automatically just making more and more female friends, or at least the stronger bonds were with women. So what naturally, I think it kind of went away that yes, like we are all on the same side, we have to be. And also because in college I studied literature, which was my first kind of, and in a girls' college, which was my first kind of into like women of all types exist, like college is such a melting pot of like different cultures, backgrounds, social, economic background. Teachers are amazing. You're reading all these books about badass women from the 18th century. And you're like, dude, ye to bilkul bhi time hi nahi waste kar sakte. Let's get on with our lives. You can't be like, they want you to be bogged down with non-issues and with, ki wo buri hai or main better hu or competition. Like, let's get that noise out and move forward. Yeah. So that's I think that 20, it just sort of went away organically. Like I think it did with all of us, most of us.
Yeah, I guess we all just grew up.
But even now, I think but even now, like, is there some stuff like you judge some other chick from?
Yeah,
that's
all
something
the time,
even now,
which is why it's so messed up, because then you catch yourself.
Yeah, you still find yourself making that comment, being like, are you kidding? Yeah. Or you send it on your girl group and you Instagram your
like she's
group
so
that you
extra.
have.
Why is she trying so hard?
And it's like a lot. But you're right though. A lot now, at least, you can catch yourself doing it.
Yeah.
Is that you've sent the message and then I have now started unsending, but I instinctively I've sent it to like the girl grouping,
unsend. Yeah.
And then the minute I send it, I'm like, no, because you're judging her for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
so
it's
then
so
I'll go back.
unnecessary. That's amazing.
I'll unsend it.
That's amazing.
But is it so wrong though that once in a while you get irritated with someone or you get irritated with their personality, and then you have to realize that I'm irritated at your personality. This is not about the gender. You could be a dude. I'd still be irritated at you. Then I'm like, that is justified. That is fine.
Because I was actually just going to say
this person is just a piss off.
That a good test is this, that would you send, like, if it was a dude, would this still be a problem, or is it more annoying because it's a chick? Yeah, it's a good.
That's a good test to do for yourself. I like it. ठीक है. I'll also start implementing that.
Are you annoyed at just the content?
Just the content, not the gender.
Yeah, but
Tash, P.S. you have lived away from home for so long, since you were 20.
Yeah.
And you've been in college in a different city away from your family. This means you had to take care of yourself to a large extent through most of the baby adult and solid adult years. How you do?
It's quite hard. I'm not kidding.
And
I feel like, I think little bit context setting, maybe I won't take too much time.
No,
Generally, I feel like how I was brought up, like my family is super kind of, like it's super dysfunctional, like we were always kind of allowed to do our own thing, and it's not like a traditional family setup. Is why the good part of this was that so much of my confidence also came from that it was actively encouraged in the house for everybody to have an opinion, and like you do your thing, because then if you mess up, then it's your up. But if you do something great, then all the credit is also yours. Even like we would have like horrible fights at home, if ever. Literally, like my dad would say that, till you're 17, you're living under this roof, by which, like, when you start making your own money, you can make your own decisions. And good, full props to them. Clearly, they have stuck to that. The day I started making my own money, उससे पहले भी मतलब बड़े होते थोड़ा बहुत जा ही रहा था hold. When I started making my own money, it was a very respectful that, okay, cool, now you're your own person and do your own thing. So even the whole coming to Bombay, dude, I saw Wake Up Sid. I was in Delhi. कितना बॉलीवुड तो उल्लू बनाता है ये हर बच्चों को, खास करके when you're not in Bombay. So then I was all like, oh wow, must go. Maybe the Konkan I you. It's like beer I'll get. One nice little studio apartment with fairy lights.
How nice was her apartment, man? Where did she find it with that terrace?
Dude,
on that assistant salary? Is she okay?
Exactly, right? So I'm just like, this is going to be so easy. But then it wasn't, because like, my God, like to live in any place, to live in a matchbox in this city, you have to pay like 50 grand at least. Yeah. And later, like I actually worked with the first AD of Wake Up Sid like a few years ago. And she told me Konkana's house was a Yashraj studio. And I was just like, just stop talking to me. It wasn't even like some fake Bandra house. It was a studio setup. So anyway, so I watched the movie and I'm like, हाँ Bombay जाना है, अच्छा कैसे जाएंगे Bombay? कुछ पता तो है नहीं. कभी मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था basically. I feel like a lot of me, it's just been very like, what information you have right now, basis this, make some decision that lasts a little bit and then you'll change it. Like it's been very go with the flow like that. And then I was like, okay, I guess Xavier's I could go. It seems like a respectable place. Usme bhi Xavier's, my only point of reference is in kuch hota hai, these guys were in Xavier's. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had no idea. I was like, how to go to Bombay?
Both of you have taken far too many lessons from Bollywood movies.
It's not our fault, It's really not.
That's what I'm saying. TV dekhti rehti thi. That's all I did.
My parents did not teach me any better.
Exactly. So anyway, so when I moved, I came here for my postgrad, and I stayed the first year. I stayed in Dadar with 7 other women in a 2 BHK. And it was a miracle that everybody got along super well. And I was also the youngest. Like I was like 20 years old. Everybody else was like 26, 27. Everybody was working and shit. So it worked out well. It had like this beautiful chat and all. But the first year was super hard in terms of like everything, right? The first time away from the house. Food in the city is a real like dampener even today, let's face it. But the food and the local train. And I don't think I was spoiled in Delhi, but like Delhi, the culture doesn't allow you to be as independent as even a basic Bombay existent needs you to be, right?
Yeah.
Like you were always picked and dropped because safety is a concern. Even like little things, like Delhi's a super mollycoddled, or perhaps an age also, like at 18-year-old, you're not making your own decisions, I guess. So I feel like here the growing up had to happen because like Bombay doesn't give anybody that kind of chalo आराम से अपनी pace पे कर लो, जब ठीक लगे तब बड़े हो जाना, कोई बात नहीं. It's not like that. It's very like, dude, you do or you fuck off. Like nobody's doing it for you. So I think it started with that, where like, like saving money. No, I've had like vada pav and Maggie for like months, like at a stretch, because I was so bad with money. I had never understood the concept of being given like lumps of money for the month that I just have to manage for 30 days. I don't know. I don't do this. So I would spend all of it like on the 15th, and then 2 weeks, like no, there was a lot of garibi after that, like lots of small houses, lots of like boys I dated, which was great. But I think Bombay was also the time I started meeting for the first time people that, were not living the life that I had been exposed to so far. I feel like Bombay was my first kind of insight into that, how many different ways there are of living, like you could...
That's so true.
Right? Yeah. Like you could be married with a child, you could be single, you could be stand-up, you could be a banker, you could be a doodh wala, you could be a start... like I would just constantly go to these parties and I was just like, my God, like you guys are so cool. Like, and meanwhile, my friends in Delhi still are doing the super like traditional like roles in their lives, right? Like nobody feels the need to do something else. So I think through that journey of meeting people mostly, and my general curiosity of ki chal ye bhi karte, wo bhi karte, ye bhi karte, wo bhi karte karke, it got easier 100%, I think, as I started making more money. Like again, right? Like I used to live in Bandra, my salary was 20 grand. तो ये कोई मजाक है, और मैं घर से नहीं लेती थी पैसे because now I'm making my own money.
Yeah, I love that though. Yeah.
But in all of that,
कैसे manage?
But exactly, but like, like there was this in Khar, this place called Ahmed Bakery, and they have like a small plate biryani for like $30 with like 1-piece chicken in it. Right? And it's super like, it sounds super like, I don't know, romanticized, and it doesn't feel like struggle per se. But the thing is that when that is the only option available to you, you're not looking at it as this great, like, oh wow, मैं अपनी life के साथ कितनी interesting चीजें कर रही हूँ. Like, you cannot afford mini Punjab because you don't make that kind of money. So I think over time, with lots of help of friends, lots of help of some nice boys also, like I feel like boys I met in my early 20s were much nicer than the boys I met in the second half. But I think overall, like anything else, I think Bombay has that kind of hold on people, is why people from around the world come and they never leave. It just kind of became home. And then, I was doing things which were sort of just mine. And, that's why I encourage everybody to move out of their house the first opportunity they get, whoever's privilege allows it, because you have to know how your living room will look if your parents have nothing to do with it. It's an important thing for your personality, for your growth. Now, when I go back home, I'm just like, "Itna saman kyun hai yaar aapke ghar pe?" Why do you have so much stuff? So yeah. So I think the adulting, like, it was hard, but it was also super fun. And I mean, I cannot deny that it's also been like super blessed. Like, I mean, easy or hard, I don't want to get into, but it's been a really interesting like journey, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like a real adventure, because that's all it can be also when a 20-year-old comes to a new city with only Bollywood as a reference.
Yes. My God, what a lie that is, though. And that's why, like, and I feel like even for me, like, because I was never like a super good student, or like I didn't have, like, I was never so ambitious, like, ki Bombay jaake apni life banane wala nahi tha mujhe kabhi bhi. So now, like, it blows my mind that that I've been on film sets, that, that so much of my job, like, was around celebrities, that I know, like, I can text, like, I don't know, Vicky Kaushal has my number. He replies back to me sometimes, like, this blows my mind.
Why have we talked about anything else? I don't give a shit about your life story. You're here, right? It obviously worked out. You did something. It must have been okay. Tell me more about this.
So I met Vicky Kaushal a few times, and he's actually quite fun and very warm and super funny and super Punjabi.
This is a stupid running gag we have on the show. That's all.
But she's genuinely a fan also.
No, I'm a fan of him as for what he does, and
makes you go weak in your knees.
Yes, she does.
So to be honest,
she wants to feel his Josh.
that's again another joke.
Because it looks high, so.
I think we should take a break now so we can do this fangirling off air.
No, and we can explain why that stupid joke from the bathroom card.
Yes.
But let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Advertising is Dead, Varun talks to Anil Vishwanathan of Mondelez India. They discuss the beloved Cadbury brand and its campaigns over the years. On Speakeasy, Dheeraj is in conversation with Ranjit Pratap Singh, the CEO and co-founder of Pratilipi. Hey, that's our parent company. They talk about how Ranjit tapped into the need for non-English storytelling content and created a company with over 30 million readers worldwide. On Smarter with Sid, resolved to have better resolutions. Sid tells us how understanding the difference between objectives and outcomes can be liberating. On Tere Mere Raaste, Keshu takes us to Dubai, world of skyscrapers, world-class infrastructure, glittering malls, and massive boulevards. On the Life Manifesto, Zarina goes over the concept of self-abandonment. She explains the do's and don'ts of dealing with it. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do tell a friend. The word of mouth absolutely is essential to us. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you've been listening to. And also, I'd like to ask everybody to check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels going. You can find all of them on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, CoinSwitch Kuber, and Intel. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Agla Station Adulthood with Priyam, and she was just telling us about her 20 to 30 ka journey, and adulting pretty fucking hard, dude. In all its glory.
But aren't we all? Aren't you? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be the same journey, quote unquote.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. It's everyone is doing it. But for me personally, it just feels like a bigger step in adulting when you move to a place where your family doesn't live. So it just brings in a whole new dimension of taking care of yourself.
For sure.
And that is a fact. I mean, as much as Ayushi and I would like to say our adulthood life is very interesting and adventurous, it is. But also having our parents living in Bombay is one other kind of safety net which you can't even like begin to explain, or we are not able to process also. But
no, I mean, my privilege is my personality half the
abundance,
time, so
yes.
that's not really there is a difference between what you have gone through and what I have gone through. I can't even say, like, Tash has previously moved out and she's lived that journey. So for me, a lot of times I struggle, and I'll be honest, and I usually am very honest on the show, so I'll say it. Like, but listening to you talk about your journey and saying that this is how your come up, like, let's call it your come up. This is how you did it. I feel so, I feel like such a child. And I know that you don't mean it like that, and nobody means it like that. But when you hear someone who's actually kind of, who you moved out and you did it and you made it work somehow, that oftentimes makes somebody who hasn't done that, at least I'll speak for myself, it makes me feel like shit. I haven't earned my adulthood badge yet. I haven't earned my stripes yet. And that often, whether you like it or not, you start undermining your own struggle and you start undermining the feelings that you've had because somebody else has done it more successfully than you or has done it differently than you. And then I go down into the spiral of like, well, I'm just another South Bombay privileged girl. So what have I done to amount to anything? But like, that's a trap. Like, that is a full trap. I'm aware. I'm being honest here, saying that you've shared so much. So I think the other side of this, and whoever's listening to this show also, we live in a city where you are confronted by all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is so nice.
Yeah. You do meet people that sometimes I meet people, and imagine, I know that the level of privilege I come from and the kind of comfort that I've had in my life, that I've not had to struggle that much also. And then I meet people who've had it even easier than me. And I'm like, bitch, what do you know? Like, you don't even know struggle. Like, you don't know what it's like. You're not a real adult. You've just been handed everything. And I think that's so wrong, right? But it's some sort of human, stupid feeling constantly where either if you're not putting yourself down, you're putting someone else down.
Yeah.
And that by that logic, you're putting someone else up on a pedestal. And in all of this, you've just lost your own foot. You've lost your own bearing. You don't know where you are. And that's something that affects me. It does. And it's something that it happens to me on the show a lot when I meet people and I'm like, Am I more adult than you or am I less adult than you? Tell me.
But
No, more
Yeah.
or
it's
less.
not.
Yeah.
It's not, Dash. I am aware that this
You
line
get
of
sometimes you get
thinking,
that.
I get caught into it, and I now can stop myself and be like, "Yo, wrong. Let's retract. Let's walk this back, and then it's fine." But instinctively, sometimes I'm still not that self-secure, I guess.
I think a thing to remember is that at any given point, like you're saying, there is going to be somebody who's killing it more than you are.
Yeah.
And at that time, you're just like, oh, 1 second, all these chutias are not also, so you're okay.
That's what I tell myself. When you do that, then you go into your memory bank and you like find the file of the person that's really fucking up right now in their life, and you pull that file in front, and your brain projects, and you're like, we are okay.
Yeah,
we are okay. We're working very hard.
Yeah. We're doing our best. Yeah.
So, doing our best as adults, that's great, ladies. But now, since we're all young, hot, amazing, passionate, ambitious, beautiful girls in this chat, I just wanted to talk to us all about feeling ourselves, Because Priyam in lockdown had started the Goddess Hour, which literally was all about girls getting that 1 hour of safe space to feel themselves.
That's true. It sounds like a weird masturbation.
It's not.
But that was dancing and movement involved.
Yes.
I think you guys have a better grip on this than I do.
Ayushi, no, see, now you are trying to run away from this conversation. You're 30 years old in 2 months. Talk about it.
I don't want to have this conversation. It's not about not wanting to engage with the two of you. You know this about me. I have a very tricky relationship with this whole owning it, feeling it, being yourself.
Why
are
is
perfect.
It tricky? Why is it tricky?
Because, some days I find it liberating and I enjoy being told by Tash quite often to be like, Ayush, you can do this. You are worth this. You are XYZ and you should feel it and own it. And it's like, it's great. But then there are other days when I'm just like, this is so fucking self-indulgent. Like, shut the fuck up.
But why is that a problem? It is 100% it's self-indulgent. But is that not the purpose of it?
Yeah, that is the purpose. And you are more aware and self-confident to know that the difference between that. I just find it self-indulgent. So I get stuck in this thing of not being able to enjoy it. And then I have to wait for Rytasha to come along and be like, Bonnie, come on, you can do it. And then we're like, okay, fine. We can do it. We can own ourselves. And then for a moment, there is that slice of joy. So yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You guys are better. You have a better handle on this than I do.
Not really.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. That handle or not, I don't feel like feeling yourself or owning yourself or all those sexy phrases. I don't think any of that is a destination. It's not like you are it.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
It's basically on some days you feel yourself a little more, and then on some days you feel shit. And then on those days, it's nice to have a friend like Rytasha to be like, no, girl, you got it. And you're like, okay, thanks for believing in it for the both of us today, because I'm not there today. And that's fine. But I feel like as long as the attempt, I think if that's the right word for it, as long as the intention is to continue to feel yourself and all, I'll tell you why. Okay, self-indulgent. I think I really enjoy walking into rooms and not feeling awkward.
Yeah, or anxious.
Anxious. And I feel super blessed that mostly I walk into rooms fairly comfortable, because I know so many friends of mine, incredible, amazing people who struggle so much with just entering a party alone, for example, or going into a meeting that they don't have context to. And I feel like a lot of that confidence to me comes from the fact that I'm just like, bro, main to theek thaak hi hu, I'm kind of likable, kind of sexy, looking good today, lipstick's looking okay. And maybe a part of it is, I'm probably using the word loosely, a part of it is performative. Maybe part of it is, you're slightly almost deluding yourself into the self-indulgence. But I feel in the larger scheme of things, at least in my experience, it's definitely been a value add, where I'm not claiming that I'm feeling like a goddess all day, every day. But the attempt is that every day for a little moment, you must feel, because this much we deserve, Yeah, I think that's more where I am at.
I like that. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to try for. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in that situation, what stood out for me is when you said walking into a room or walking into a party and not feeling that thing. This is going to sound like such a douchey thing to say, but I've never felt that.
Felt what?
Anxiety to do that.
No, I was just saying, like, as an example, like, basically what you're doing with the self-indulgence or what you're doing with feeling yourself is working in some weird way about it, working on like your confidence, by which I mean that your relationship with yourself.
With yourself.
Because that affects your relationship with everything else.
You're
work,
right.
Friends, parents, sex, hobbies, food, whatever, right? But if your relationship with yourself, agar ek hi hai, to it's nice only if little sexual chemistry is a part of it. It's like that it's just a happy relationship with yourself.
Also, if like we're looking at just the goddess hour you were doing, the dance steps, let's give our listeners a little context. They were a little more sensual, and all the time I feel like even I've always felt, oh my God, she's dancing so sluttily, talking about somebody else. And I would never, even though everyone is dying to do a little sensual twist and turn, a little bit of a, this lat lag gayi wala step, everyone wants to do it. But that kind of awkwardness that comes into the picture when good girls, respectable girls, let loose.
Yeah.
And they are loose then for letting loose. I think what the Goddess Hour did so beautifully was just broke that, because I felt ki like, theek hai, within this 1 hour, I can just move and groove and enjoy the sensation, what somebody else is feeling or thinking, looking at me, the sensation I have within my own body of doing these moves without judging myself, B, feeling shy, C, feeling like a quote unquote calling myself a slutty girl or whatever it is, whatever these negative connotations we have put with a little bit of sensual dancing. So, yeah.
No,
that's all I had to say.
Yeah, with Goddessa, I feel like, I think even when I started, it was literally just one of the many things like lockdown, ab kya kare ab, chalo, let's, and I kind of like, somebody kind of approached me to do like a dance class. I said, okay, cool, I'll do it. And then it kind of grew to this beautiful thing where literally I realized fairly early on that yes, we are talking about relationship with ourselves and, feeling ourselves, ownership, anxiety, all of that. But unfortunately, for lots of women, it boils down to their relationship with their bodies. Right.
Yeah.
So just that awkwardness of taking up that space where, it's not like you're going to judge like some heroine doing sexy moves and you think she's hot. No. Perhaps you're even there in your journey, but you're like, no, but I can't do it because you're the person who will, not take that extra chips at a party because you're fat, or, you're sitting, you'll kind of like put a cushion over, like that kind of thing. So I think the idea of Goddessa, the DMs I started getting was, like, this dude, like, I'll never forget this mom who had like a child like 2 years ago, and she was just, and of course, like, I'm sure, oh my God, pregnancy really scares me just as a concept. I don't want to get into it.
Same.
But, like, she was so like disassociated with her body for like 2 years, man. Can you imagine 2 years of not feeling like yourself in your body? And then she's come to this class, and the first time she has, like she wrote like this really like interesting line where she said that I have never raised my arms in the last 2 years. Like, it's just not happened. She was always just like that. And how liberating it was for her. Or even like, so many other people where they're just so excited that, oh, like even me with my size, and it doesn't have to do with the fat people. Like even like thin people, small, whatever, like they are just awkward about their bodies, that their shoulders don't move like this. They will not do a chest drop and they'll not do a hip hop. And I'm like, do nah, it's fine. You're in your room, just do. And that, I think, like everything else, sometimes I think it kind of helps if somebody else says it to you. You're like, okay, fine, I'll ride on this person's belief for this 10 minutes and hopefully I will survive. And then you do. And, at the end of the class, I would make like everybody kind of like perform also, and everybody starts like hooting. It's like a big, like, it's a really fun like experience. And the idea, I think it grew as the classes grew, as the page grew, or as more people started coming for class, because I realized that, of course, I was doing it for fun, and it was like, like a nice source of income, which actually some point we must talk about. Multiple sources of income is a big, important thing at adulthood.
Yes.
But I think I was really kind of very overwhelmed with how well it was received, and how it seemed like, oh, such a requirement, like, oh my God, like, thank you for doing this, because, and everybody had a because to attend class, because like they broke up, because they did not fit into that dress, because they saw a video, because some auntie told them they look ugly or whatever. And I was like, hey girls, chill out. Let's dance to like some Sheila Ki Jawani, get it out of our systems. And it was great.
It's lovely, the community that you're describing. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that doing something like this is not beneficial. I think the fact that it exists, I would have possibly benefited from it as well. When I said that I find this owning, feeling self-indulgent, I don't mean it when I'm talking about small communities or even larger communities of women who need a safe space or who want to explore something that they have suppressed in themselves. I think I have a more troubled relationship with the societal way that we're moving towards it, right? Like that sometimes it borders onto levels of vapidness, and it goes
What
on
does
to
vapid mean?
just an airhead, like just a very like meh, know, or it goes into it actually sometimes I feel like it reinforces certain stereotypes or what being feminine is or what being a woman is, and those are complicated like offshoots of actually something that is very pure and wholesome, what you're describing, which is just being okay in the skin that you're in and the body that you're in and taking ownership of that feeling. And that is beyond a doubt untouchable. I have not one critique towards it because I myself so often say, today I actually feel really attractive. Like I feel very physically attractive. No, not today, but I mean like there are days in my day where I'm saying that and I'm like, that is owning yourself. That is feeling yourself. And that is
exactly.
And it's a beautiful feeling. And in that circular moment, I feel very confident with myself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter what party you're entering, what class you're entering, what meeting room. I am feeling confident with myself.
And that's the thing, to step into anything with a little bit of confidence. I think that's so important.
That's what I'm saying. That is not an untouchable thing at all. That my initial comment, which maybe was misinterpreted by myself itself, is like
by yourself only.
Is that that I have this critique of this phraseology of this being like, oh, you gotta just own yourself.
Okay. Chalo. Aage badhte hai. Let's talk about making money because we all love it. And it's also the most important thing, sadly.
Listen, please tell us how to have multiple sources of income, because just saying this should be one source of income to me also, right?
She means the podcast for which we don't make money, just putting it out there.
Not yet,
exactly.
Not yet.
But yeah, I have big fan of multiple sources of income. I feel like, and I actually talk about this a lot, especially, I hate that younger people come to me for advice. I hate that I'm old enough for that. But sometimes younger people come to you for advice. And this is my only one because, what a piece of advice you wish you had gotten? Just this. As soon as you can, diversify your sources of income.
Oh shit, I've been thinking about this today only because I'm looking at all these people. Again, I talk about them with spite as if, how could they go and start a business while being actors? They're not good enough actors. But no, they are so smart. I am an idiot sitting here waiting for an Oscar-worthy film and role to come to me. I should be making some, some jewelry and selling it.
I have nothing comforting to say to you. Absolutely agree. You're stupid.
I am exactly.
Yes.
And you guys have this opportunity of doing different, not you guys, everyone has the opportunity.
Everyone,
I tell Rytasha all the time. No, I don't mean it that way. I'm like, because I have put myself in this box. Now she's right, I'm also a stupid. Like, because I have a 9 to 5, I have always thought that I have a source of income. That's it. But now
and a source of income is great. But like, imagine if you had like 3.
Wow.
Can I tell you what
I literally just drooled a little bit.
Tell us.
Okay. Brace yourself, ladies. And I'm not flexing. I think this is an important
No, please flex.
Should have. Okay. I make money acting. I make money being on camera. I make money hosting shows on screen and offline. I make money doing stand-up. I make money teaching dance. I produce shows. I script write. I did tarot. Yeah.
Dude, that's
influencing, if at all, whatever, Instagram, little bit. I don't make that much money off Instagram. Yeah.
Can you tell me more about tarot?
Tarot. I didn't know you were doing tarot.
I did. See, exactly. Because there's this during the pandemic, I learned how to do tarot. And then I did tarot for when people paid me to do that tarot. And I was actually doing pretty well. And then it just got really my God, can't sit and listen to so many problems. That's my personal issue. And then I just kind of stopped. But I did it. It was a good money making and helping people, I would like to believe, activity.
Yeah, sure.
I'll ask you separately, but I need to find out what my rising is. So I need to...
That is not anything to do with tarot. It is got to do with your birth time and your birth chart.
But I just thought tarot, then I thought astrology, and then I thought tell me more.
Okay, but I'll tell you the starting of the money-making thing. Basically, when I used to work at Miss Malini. I was working there for about 4
very long
years. Yeah, for 4.5 years. And when I started out, I was a writer for them, like a Bollywood writer. And then I started heading the team. Then I got like, and then I was like, "Nahi, kuch aur karte hain." And then I became a producer. Then I was creative producing. Meanwhile, I was interviewing like celebrities. And then I became creative head of the team, of the company.
You have chatted with Shah Rukh. So let's just say you have done it all in
Love
terms
it.
of interviewing celebrities. That's nuts.
Thanks. And then I quit my job. One, because I was at the time looking at people who were my age, and at the time, I want to say maybe 26-ish, 27, maybe younger, who were going through like severe burnouts. And I was just like, but what? Nothing is worth that. What do you mean? We are so young. And also like, I mean, yes, like I'm saying it in the nicest way possible. Working at Miss Malini is not a challenging job. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're not building like roads. It's a very fun, mostly creative, it's a nice, engaging, immersive environment. Anyway, so I feel like, first of all, I give a lot of props to like Malini and her husband, the CEO, Naushad, where all the times that I wanted to do something different, they were very like, okay, cool, try karke dekho. So I think in the 4.5 years, I was able to upskill myself a lot because of, I think, just generally, I was just able to. So when I decided to quit my job, I think very early on, I realized that other freelancers, or very few freelancers that I knew, do not make enough money because they are not employed a lot.
I know.
And
I remember this because Priyam had just quit her job and she was like, what is freelance like?
Yeah. Because I was just like, what? And I used to make, and again, like Creative Hair, Miss Malini is a decent company. I used to make a decent amount of money for my age. So I feel like very early on, I did like a little bit. And then I made a list of all the skills I had. And then I realized I'm actually having quite. And then I decided to monetize all of them separately. What that did was that I may not be making like 10 lakhs doing one thing for 1 month, but I made a decent amount of money through the year. Like like right before this, I wrote and produced a show. And now I'll go into like an acting gig. And in the middle, like literally this weekend, if Omicron doesn't, this weekend I have a little shoot for 2 days. So it's a nice kind of consistent break bhi hai. काम भी चल रहा है, पैसे भी मिल रहे हैं, क्योंकि multiple source of income. If I was only making money acting, I don't get that many acting roles. If I was only making money writing, there is not that much money in writing. So you have to, I think, just identify what all you can make money for. And the good thing is that we live in a society or in a time where actually making money is not as hard. The managing money, the saving money, yes, the investing, that's the jhamela. But like you're saying, people are making jewelry and selling. I have an entire dance workshop I've done brand collaborations for. And it happened because, sure,
of
and of social media. And you thought, Rytasha, so much clout. You guys have this.
I am this close to starting a private page where I just hang out without clothes and people can pay.
You're describing OnlyFans.
Yes.
Source of income. Why the hell not?
Nobody has to know it's me. I'll cover my face.
Or maybe eventually you can own it also. But I think
exactly. Why should I be ashamed? Yes. She's already judging me. See, anyway.
No, but I'm saying that the thing is that you don't need like 7. But and the thing is that a lot of time we don't look at small sources of money as sources of money.
You're right.
When I was really broke, this was the first year I started freelancing. I lived in Bandra. I used to go to Sakinaka to review films for an app. And for every week, they would give me, I want to say, 4 grand or something, which is not a lot. But then 4 grand is enough for your grocery, to pay your maid, to whatever. It's still money.
Yeah.
Just because it's not 40 grand, it doesn't not count for anything. I think that's a mindset that over time, all of us have to get out of, that no jobs are small, that it like nobody else gives a about what you're doing, what you're not doing. And I think generally women are more awkward about talking about money and, stuff like that. That's something that over time, hopefully all of us are able to get better at. But just one source of money, especially in a city like Bombay, it's just not enough. There's no other way to say it. It's not enough. So whatever it is you can do, and everybody has some skills, we just have to tap into it and kind of do like, how is it monetizable even a little bit?
I am thinking so hard now about what all I can do to make extra money.
Rytasha, for example, I don't think I ever told you this. You had put a reel which was about how to audition for actors or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had a really important audition like a couple of days later. And I know that reel was super helpful to me. All I'm saying is, instead of all...
you took it for free.
Give it for free.
Exactly. So now, if you just in some way do like people are doing, like workshops for like 10 weeks that
I
teach you
know
to do
it's so
something.
much effort though. That's why
But-
being naked on camera just sounds much easier.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna
But
but
you know
you're
what
right.
is not, but what is not easy at all is unemployment. And
I
somehow
agree.
and poverty is really hard. So
Priyam, I just love you.
it's too hard. And and I've been there. There is no romance in not making money and having bada paos every day. But that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying you have to do it, but is there a reason you cannot put together 5 hours of an acting workshop? You're an
You're
incredible
right.
actor who's actually trained. And again, we will, I think, end up looking at its success if because I have X amount of followers, then like 2,000 people should come, or it's a fake. But it's not. You need 5 people to show up.
Yeah,
You're
right.
And 5 will show up. They always do. So yeah, multiple sources of income, kids. Gotta get on.
But I need to sit
Is
and
that
make a
what
list
we
of
are
my
all
skills.
doing now? Are we?
That's what you do on OnlyFans,
I think
right?
so now. No.
Wow.
Oh man, thank you so much. I think we've spoken about some of the most important things. Actually, this multiple source of income has been my biggest takeaway.
It's key. It's key.
Yeah.
And really, like, I'm not even saying this as a joke. It is. And also because last thing I want to say on this is that, so many jobs that are available now to us, they didn't even exist 10 years ago.
That's a fact.
So there are so many jobs that are still going to come, and we with our brains and bodies and minds can actually have some sort of first mover advantage on it. We just have to figure out what it is.
I'll tell you, it's such a silly thing, and this is just friendship bonding. Dash and I used to in school, because we went to school together and we used to be in the same class and everything. We used to do these silly stand-up little things in front of the class. We used to take ads and we'd sing the jingles and we'd do a little
We'd perform
dance.
them.
We'd
That's
perform.
all. Yes.
We do, and we talk in these
They should
funny
have paid us
voices.
for it.
We talked in these funny voices. We used to make little stories and little comics, and we draw and we made up parallel universes where we were different characters and all. And then, college happened, everything happened. We got into jobs, and then Instagram came. And I swear sometimes she and I have looked at Instagram accounts and been like, people are doing this and they're making money out of this. We were doing this for free just because we enjoyed being idiots in front of people. Jokes on us. Because now other people have created niches out of this.
Yes.
And now we can't do it. Now we can't go back and do funny accents because
Also,
sometimes
I
the
feel
accent
like I've
is
forgotten
now
how to
offensive.
do the funny accents, because I feel like I've seen so many of them on Instagram. I'm thinking, am I doing my own funny accent or am I doing
is it
something
somebody
also?
else's?
Also now,
Or is it
sometimes I
offensive,
get
correct?
scared that it's offensive. Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's my
mostly
other
that.
main fear.
Everything's
is that.
offensive. If I do Russian accent, it's okay. No, it's not.
You never know. So I have no comment on that.
No.
please edit me out from this portion when these guys are doing accents that I'm sure are offensive to somebody in the world. Yeah.
No accents, no accents.
I don't think content creators should be one of the sources of income though. Because sabhi content banayenge, kaun dekh raha hai fir? You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right, Priyam. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of content.
And I have like so much respect and also so much like awe for like people who are full-time content creators, because it's the toughest job in the world. It is the most thankless job in the world, because what the audience does not realize is that
after housewife,
except for the few brand deals you get, it's a job you're doing for no money every single day, hoping that they like you, hoping that they share. And especially now where who is not a content creator? You know what I'm saying?
That's my other thing. Like, but sometimes I wonder, I'm like, this is content for who? Like,
but it's for everyone that's suddenly growing up and getting smartphones and getting Instagram, because now I'm stumbling into these like 17, 18-year-olds ka pages, and they're all like fashion bloggers or content creators with at least 10, 15K followers. So they've started.
I have a question for you. I have a question before we wrap up. And this is just because we talked about content creators. You think people on the internet, content creators, you're a public figure, Tash is, the show is a public figure, whatever. You think you have a responsibility in terms of what you create and what you say? Or is your responsibility just to yourself? I want to ask everyone this question now, because today I have seen a post from somebody who has 1.7 million followers. And the quote that this guy has written, I shit you not, is, when you are disciplined, you will be more disciplined. And that's a thing. That's a thing that this person has done. And I'm confused as to what their responsibility is towards their audience. Is this something that was necessary, or is this something that you truly believe has helped your followers?
First of all, this is a great example of when the content is annoying, it has nothing to do with the gender.
Correct.
This is that.
But I think I want to know from you guys.
Thoda bahut responsibility though you should have. Not, but also that depends on, I don't know actually. Priyam, you go.
My answer is that my personal responsibility is truly only to myself. Because I feel like this person that you're mentioning, obviously he has enough people who think this is content of value.
Yes.
And the point of like the internet, how similarly, like so many comics that you don't find funny. You're just like, ye comic hai, ye kyun? But uski audience hai. You just have to, be around enough to find people who think that's their brand of humor. So I think for me, like in terms of responsibility, I cannot even for a second claim that I know anything better than the second shooter. So I cannot be like, oh, but my morality is the morality that I must project.
No, but I like that. I prefer that you're owning the fact that it's every day, it's a different thing. You'll decide how you feel based on what is in front of you.
Exactly.
Right?
And I feel like if something is not appealing to my audience, please unfollow. I am actually, Rytasha and I've spoken about it so many times. I have no interest in finding out if you don't agree with me. Don't tell me. Send a group bitch about it. Get it out of your system. I don't need one DM about how this is not okay and how I've disappointed you. I don't give a shit. Okay.
I agree. That's my thing. It's like I have this like the reason I asked this question is mainly because I'm like, I can barely have that ownership and answerability to myself that now you want me to have it to you stranger on the internet who I have not told you to follow me. You are doing this voluntarily.
Yeah.
But okay, fair enough. I like that. Fine.
And the things that I don't touch are mostly, stuff like I will not do a funny accent because I will not do a funny accent in real life also. If it is something super political, I will not say it online because again, it is a subjective opinion and politics in this country is a super touchy topic.
Also, I'm scared.
And exactly, right? And you don't know like what you're saying is leading where. Also, I think the only kind of censorship, if at all, on myself that I've done, that at some point I used to abuse a lot, like in Hindi. And then over time I felt like, lots of work people also follow me now. Like it's just like, it's not in good taste. So it's not like I will not say it. But now if something can be said or posted without saying like a BCMC for no reason, I try to. But other than that, absolutely that I am barely functioning in, conflicts within myself, figuring what is right, what is wrong. I cannot decide this for you. I have no intention to. And it's the joke's on you if you're looking at me for some sort of inspiring, Baba, please. I am just a chick living her life online. Try to make rent, try to do yoga every day. Like I have enough going on. I cannot tell you what is okay for you.
I love that. I like that. That should be the lovely cap of the episode. That I'm just a chick.
Just a chick on the internet, living my life.
But we're just trying our best.
It's true.
That's all you can do. But this has been great. Priyam, please be my friend.
We should all hang out offline soon now.
I'm using this platform. No, I'm not kidding. It's to make
She's harvesting friends
through the podcast.
But that means that she has finally approved my friendship with Rytasha, which is a big win for this episode.
You know how she told me? She's like, we were going through guests, right? And she brought up him. I was like, wait, I know this name. And then Tash is like,
I have a voodoo doll of her in my house.
Tash is like, how it's her show. And I was like, I know that show. I heard that episode. And now you want her to come on our show? Okay then.
Because this is girls supporting girls.
No,
this is bitches having fun.
You have redeemed yourself and if nothing, I am now a ardent fan. So I will be. Let me dance with you eventually.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'll send you details and then we'll get our sexy on together. Can't we?
Absolutely.
P.S. Give our listeners some of your top 5 or any top tips for adulthood.
5 is so many. She just said she's just
given
trying
so
to
many.
do yoga.
I know.
Adulting tips. Number 1. multiple sources of income.
Correct. You gave
is
one.
number
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
number one. Like not as a joke.
Non-negotiable. Got it.
Non-negotiable. You have to figure out more ways to make money. Secondly, you're on a journey. It's not a comparative race thing. Don't get into that hassle. Somebody's going to be cooler than you and somebody's going to be uncooler than you. And that's just life. Just focus on yourself. Get through every day. And, I feel like another thing about, turning 30 and oh my God, you're so old. Like we are so old. ये वाला जो narrative चलता है ना, मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि जितना मैंने अभी तक जिया है, जितनी मेडिकल साइंसेस ने तरक्की करी है, मुझे एटलीस्ट इतना और जीना है. At least till 60 we will survive with our lifestyle choices, with climate change, whatever. At least till 60. And bro, if we have 30 more years to go, how can we be old already? So get out of this narrative of being an adult has nothing to do with age. It is just like a journey of you owning your own truth, coming, like just being comfortable in your skin and walking into parties where you're just like having a good time. As soon as I stop having a good time, I'm a bounce. That's adulthood. That's it.
I love that.
I like that. That's specifically, literally, and figuratively.
Yes.
For all three things, that I'm here to have a good time. When I'm not having a good time, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
That's, by the way, Rytasha's party motto in general. When she comes to any event, she's there. She goes really hard for the first hour. She gets very tired. And then she's like, now I want to go home.
Same. As soon as I'm done having fun, I'm out. Yeah.
Same. As soon as the first moment the party stops dipping and I'm like, okay, cab. I'm a bounce now.
Oh my God, y'all are the same.
We're good friends for a good reason.
Okay, Priyam, if people want to find you on the internet, online, where can they do that?
You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Priyam Saha. That's PRIYAMSAHA. I have not invested in any other social media platform per se, which I'm sure is going to bite me in my ass as things go along.
Someday, na? Same, mine also.
Anyway. No, it's fine. Twitter, people come and bite you in the ass on Twitter. So that's fine. You don't need to be on
I'm on Twitter and all, but I guess Instagram, you can follow me. We'll do some masti maja. Other than that, Google me, bitch. I'm around.
Thank you so much for joining us, Priyam. I love you. Can't speak for Ayushi, but I do love you.
I am getting there.
He's fond of you.
I am getting there.
We'll get there.
And
it's going to be wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And you know where to find more episodes on the IVM Podcast app, on ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. Ayushi is on the various social media handles now. You've been with us for nearly 100 episodes. So thank you so much. And
Happy New Year, guys. Yes. Happy New Year. I don't know what 2020.
Stay home. For now, stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay home if you can.
If you can.
We're going to stop telling people to stay home if they can't.
Mask up.
But thank you so much for having me. I had such a great time. I knew it was going to be a great time and it has only exceeded expectations. So thank you.
I haven't spoken to anyone in 2 days. This has been like
so fun actually. Yeah, same.
I'm going to cry now. Okay. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy? If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.
Don't you think that if everyone around you is getting smart, you better be smarter? Hey there, I'm the traveling professor Siddharth Deshmukh and I'm back with season 2 of my podcast to make you smarter. Smarter with Sid. What's this season's focus about? Well, it's about 10-minute nuggets that will make you stand out at work. It's time to go from smart to smarter. Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday and become smarter with Sid.